Okay, welcome to the first and hopefully not the last episode of Tokyo Reds, Liverpool fans from the land of the rising sun. My name is Paul.
John.
Tom.
Okay, and welcome to the show. So West Brom, last game of the season.
Big one. The big one. The big Brom.
Basically, nobody gives a fuck about it, do they, really?
To be honest with you, though, thinking about it now, if you can score against West Brom, you can score against anyone. Because that's the fucking motherload when it comes to parking the bus.
But is anybody who plays today, this weekend, going to play in the Europa League final?
If they have an outstanding performance, I mean, I'm talking like literally getting a hat-trick, just doing something that's spectacular, then they've got a chance. But in all honesty, I think the way Kloppo's thinking, he's thinking about his team for Seville. I mean, you'd have to do something outstanding to really get into that team for Wednesday.
You'd have to, like, literally take it around all their players and our players and score. And then that's the most outstanding thing you can do.
Okay, fair enough. So basically, what we're going to be talking about today is the Europa League final. Very, very excited. Very exciting times. So, John, silly question. How important is this final?
It's big. It's a big one. Yeah, so we've got to win it, obviously. But it's one of them. It makes up. No, it doesn't make or break the club. It puts us in a better position. You know, because next season, you know, obviously Klopp's gonna have the season ahead of him. You know, so it determines what type of players we can get. Ultimately, if we can offer Champions League football, we can get that upper echelon players that we should be getting anyway. You know, we've had a bad spell of, I don't want to say terrible managers, but we've had just a bad spell. I'm just going to put that. I'm not going to put any blame on anyone.
No. I think that'd be unfair, but we have had a bad spell.
But this opens the door, I think. And, you know, it's a trophy as well. We haven't won a trophy in fucking ages.
It certainly is, and it's not only that, it's a trophy in Klopp's first season. Well, what do you think, how important would that be, do you think, Tom?
I think that'd be massive because we've gone 4 seasons without silverware. Getting to the final against Man City, as glad we lost because for Klopp to win a trophy in the first few months would have been amazing. I'm confident he will win silverware and actually possibly quite a lot of silverware with Liverpool.
Yeah.
But to win a European final, to get Champions League qualification whilst winning the final, I just think it'd be amazing. For Klopp, that's it. He's got silverware. For the squad, so it's a young squad. If they win a trophy, that togetherness, that belief, they can go forward, and possibly quite a few of those players, you know, they could be Liverpool legends. They could really progress in the future. I hate to say it, but at the start of the season, a lot of those players, I was like, I want some of them gone.
Okay, yeah.
In fairness, some of them already turned around. I think Klopp's been a huge factor for that.
Okay, well, with that in mind, John, like the final, you know, obviously, like you've both mentioned, this summer's huge, right? It's one of the biggest summers that Liverpool have had for, you know, quite a fair few years. There's going to be players there playing in this final that might not be playing here at Liverpool next season. Are there any players that you can think of that are in that position, John?
Coutinho's a big one.
Okay.
We need to keep him.
We need to keep him, yeah.
Obviously, it sounds retarded.
God, yeah, we do.
But, you know, if someone... It's one of them, it's difficult because obviously, he's a very talented player, but the saving grace is his kind of stature. You know, if you look at the big European teams, or the big players, they've got everything.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, they've got strength, power, speed, everything.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so, and if you look at like a Barcelona side, where would he fit in that side, ideally, you know? He's on
the bench.
He's on the bench at least, but he's kind of like he's in that kind of Sanchez category where he's definitely not a first team player, but the quality he has. But that's my main worry is Coutinho.
That's fair enough. John, Tom.
I really like him. I think he's improved a lot in the Klopp. Joe Allen.
Okay. Yeah. It's fair game.
I think Klopp likes him. But what happens in the final, it could have a huge impact on his future.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, of course, taking into consideration, you're looking at the whole season. I don't know if Allen's going to be there in the long term. I really like him. I hope he is.
Yeah.
He's really turned it around. Like
he's been outstanding, mate.
To be fair, I think he's impressed me the most this season. And that's a crazy thing to say. I didn't
Yeah.
in a million years. But his last 7 or 8 performances.
Oh, it's been.
He's like the quintessential super sub. He comes on and
he's almost
has an impact.
Fair Clough again.
Exactly.
That's amazing,
The only thing is he comes so close to scoring. Like every game he'll have that chance where he's almost scored.
Yeah.
But he just
got a goal the other day. It's amazing. But for me, personally, and it's mad because he's completely my type of player. I love him, even though he hasn't been as good as we hoped. He's still a very, very good player. But I'm worried about him not being there next season. Is Adam Lallana, if I'm honest. He's been linked with Spurs. I don't know if there's that much in those stories, but if we are, let's say, to get Mario Götze, for example, you're thinking that that attacking 3 midfielders are Coutinho, Firmino, and Götze. Does Lallana get it? Where is he going to play? And if he might be one of those players really wants to play for England or that kind of stuff. If you're on the bench at any team, you're going to struggle to get into the national side.
He'd almost be like where Joe Allen is at the moment.
Yeah.
Where you're not starting, but you are going to be that kind of impact player. If the game is, if we've cleaned up the game, we're probably going to win or something. Or to be fair, even if we're looking for another goal or something extra, he does add a dimension.
I really like him. I think
he's like a Ben Ayoun.
Exactly, and I love Ben Ayoun and Maxi Rodriguez. Cultured players who are just good with the ball at their feet, a great passer. They do important things. It's just the end product isn't massive. Saying that, Maxi Rodriguez had 2 hat-tricks, so there you go. Anyway, cool. So next, let's move on. So Liverpool, we usually do things the hard way, and we've certainly done the Europa League as hard as you could possibly see it. We knocked out Augsburg, obviously, and then Man United, that was awesome. Then we did Dortmund in one of the greatest, European matches of all time.
I was there.
Which Tom was very lucky enough to go to, which I'm so bloody jealous. It's unbelievable.
I would have killed him.
You were there in spirit.
I was.
It's not the same.
Villarreal in the next round, which, looked on paper a very difficult side. They were 4th in the Spanish league, obviously. And then, Sevilla in the final. For me, you could argue 3 or 4 of those, those last 4 teams are Champions League teams, Man United and Dortmund especially, but we have a good record of doing it the hard way, don't you think, Tom?
Well, it's hard. Think back to our journey to Istanbul. We beat Juventus, who conceded 1 goal in the competition up until they played us. And then we scored 2 in the first 45 minutes. Sami Hyypiä got a half volley, to give you an example of who was scoring that night.
Yeah.
We beat Chelsea.
Amazing goal by Garcia.
Incredible half volley by Garcia. We beat Chelsea in the semi-final. They were champions that year. Then they lost one game in the Premier League that season. We beat AC Milan in the final. Of course, we all know the circumstances. But
the most well-known European Cup final of all time. But that's.
But that's the thing. Like I say, we do things the hard way.
Sure, yeah.
They were hard opponents.
West Ham FA Cup final.
That one's debatable.
But I mean, we did it the hard way because.
We did it. We did it the hard way.
To get there, we did.
And we knocked out Man United to get to that final as well.
We did it 4th round, Peter Crouch.
And Cardiff City, again, a team we played in the Carling Cup final, should have walled them, and we made it as difficult as possible. Couch, scored
the shin goal.
The
best final goal I've ever seen.
The best shit goal I've ever seen.
That was fucking well done on his tombstone, won't he?
Okay,
the best shittest goals you've ever seen.
So we're looking forward to a player I think we should be worried about, and there are players. Sevilla, it's not going to be an easy game.
Sorry.
It's not going to be an easy game. Kevin Gamero, who I remember a FIFA something or other, I signed him. He was awesome. Anyway, but I am a good FIFA player, so maybe that's the reason. He has scored, I think it was the last time I looked, I think it was 28 goals this season Kevin Gamero has scored, which is a lot. Okay, that's a shit ton. So they are not going to be, they're the Masters Europa League as well. Who do you think we should start with, John? What do you think starting lineup?
Starting lineup.
Same as Chelsea, or who are you playing up front? Start off.
I think, well, it's only Sturridge, isn't it? Because Origi is not fit, is he? To be
He
fair,
might be able to make it though.
he might, but even if he could, I just prefer with Sturridge.
Okay.
He's more seasoned, and to be fair, it's mad, but he's got a Champions League medal as well, so he can handle the pressure. You know, if you're putting how old's Origi? Like 21, 20?
Yeah, 21, I think.
You're putting him in the Europa League final, and you're like, listen, we've got to win this.
There's no way Origi should start for me. Sturridge is nailed on.
But you know, it's the same. Basically, the same team who's been out for the last few games. You know,
well, they've been kind of playing with an A team and a B team.
Yeah.
So, I mean, B team for Premier League, A team for the Europa League. There shouldn't be that many changes. But Tom, was there any kids that you throw in there or anything like that? Any surprises?
No, I love to be adventurous, but when it comes to the final, we can't take any risks.
No.
I mean, if it was just a normal final, we could make the odd change, but this is the added bonus of Champions League football.
Yeah. It's
the
massive.
money at stake. I mean, you imagine the pressure.
It's almost like a dual final. It's like two finals.
Pretty
You've got a cup and you've got Champions League next
so it's
year.
double prize basically.
Yeah.
Do you think, the fact they've been trying to revamp the Europa League and having the Champions League as a part of it is massive. Do you think that downgrades the Europa League in any way? Because I don't get, we get a trophy, right? I'm not asked about the silver bit that we get, the silver tin kind of trophy we win.
It's a prestige, isn't it?
It's the Champions League that you want to get, which is a bit mad, really. But
I think as well, this season's kind of like a unique season just because of the calibre of teams we've played. You know, if you think about last few Europa League campaigns we've had, what was it? Last year was a Besiktas.
Yeah.
Just out.
Yeah.
And you're like, you weren't asked, you know. The biggest thing about that was, it was the penalty, Balotelli taking it off Henderson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Controversy.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the only thing you remember from that game. You know, you don't remember who started. And it's been like that.
Not asked. I remember Demba Ba.
Oh,
I forgot about it. But you know, it's like, do you remember
the
the Dalglish season as well? And it was like the worst football I've ever seen in my life when the Europa League.
Yeah.
And you just
those games as well.
you know, it's been the only time in my supporting life I've almost fell asleep. Just because I haven't won, I just couldn't care. Because I was like, we've got to finish high in the league, we've got to do that. But this one's been really refreshing because you've had, like you said, Dortmund, Man United, even Villarreal. You know who they are. You know, Augsburg, you were just...
Villarreal, massive team, man, you know what I mean? For me, as you say, this is a really unique season in European football where a lot of the times the Europa League was throwing out some better ties than the Champions League. Liverpool, Man United, that was a huge game. Yeah. And it trumped everything that the Champions League was doing. It has been a mad European season.
Also, sorry, just one thing I want to add to finish is, I think it'd be good for kind of in the Premier League if Liverpool win. Because, you know, it's been Spain just dominated Europe. Spain's been the Premier League, sorry. Spain's been the Premier League for... Sorry. I couldn't get that out properly then. 10 years ago, the Premier League was where Spain is now.
That's
just
true. That is true.
You know,
you blame Pellegrini for faailing with Manchester.
How the fuck you failed with that team?
They should have walked every league that there is.
It's like failing a test when you've got the answers written on your hand. You know, it's exactly the same. It's just like, oh, I'm sweating too much. That's basically you can't fail with that team. You can obviously, but you know, Bela Lugosi strikes again. But.
So, Tom, most important player? Who do you think?
Most important player going into the final. I think Daniel Sturridge.
Okay.
I really do, because his goal per game ratio for us has been amazing. Like I say, if it wasn't for the fact that he's so injury prone, that guy could be probably Liverpool's top scorer.
One of the best ever. One of the best ever in my eyes.
Yeah.
I agree. He's incredible. It's just he's always injured.
The Rushy Fowler.
Yeah, that's the mad
But
thing.
he's up there though.
He is there now. You know what I mean? That's the thing, and that's you know.
Yeah,